So you start in the far left-hand corner of the room and do full runs right to the other end. Start at the left-hand corner again, full run right to the wall, so on and so forth. As you come through, we'll just show you how to lock one board in. So you basically just need your hammer, a rubber mallet and your block. Start at this end, on your short end.
And you've got to wait to make sure that these are out.
Lock it in so there's no white gap. Get your rubber mallet and give it a little tap so it's started, and you'll see it close up on that corner. Work your way along, just tapping your way along until it locks in. You'll hear it lock in. Drop it flat, get your block, give it a tap, give it a tap. When it's fully locked in, it'll sit flat on the floor. This is your next board. So you turn it around the opposite way. Give yourself enough room between your board and your wall so you can just drop it flat. Your pencil, mark where your timber ends, not the white where the actual timber look ends. Turn your board back around, lay it flat, get your Stanley knife and your square. Scribe it. You don't have to push overly hard, just scribe it a couple of times. Just lay it over your knee and break it. And this end here that you've broken off, that's what you'll use to start at the other end. Take your board, your short end, lay it flat so that your joint closes up. Give it a tap so that it locks in. You'll feel it lock in. Take your block and your hammer. Give it a tap, tap, and a tap, and it'll lay flat, and you're done. So this tool here, if your end hasn't closed up properly, and it's a fraction out, you just hook that in the end, give it a tap, and that'll close that gap up, that fraction if need be. Pull that out, and you're done. So when you do get close to the wall and you haven't got enough room to put your block in to hit it, the easiest way to do it is take this tool, hook it over the edge, just give it a tap, tap, and that tool there will drag it over and lock it in for you and whatever when you can't use your block. So when you come to a doorway, if you line your two timber joins up, perfectly line your two timber joins up here, make a mark there where you're going to break it, and then we'll go and scribe it. Bring it over to your makeshift bench. Scribe it on your mark. Pick it up. Now that should perfectly match up to scribe your edge out. So with your edge here, basically line your timber edge up, slide it up to your wall, mark it with your pencil where your corner is, take it out, line your two timber edges up here again, take your square, that'll give you your edge. That L piece there will be the piece to come out that'll joggle up against your door. So this is your piece that's going to go up against your door frame. You've got your lines marked. This is just a cordless grinder with a thin cut wheel on it. Take that edge, so do your grinder in, scribe across, just 2 or 3 times, don't have to push hard, and take your edge and just snap the piece out. So okay, you've got your piece joggled out. The easiest way we've found to do it is to actually take the previous one out so you know that it fits. This one drops in, sits flat. Take your block, sit it up against the end of it and just gently tap it. You haven't got to hit it hard, just gently tap it so it closes up to where it's got to go around your door frame. Now your previous board, we lock him back in. We already know he fits because we've had him in there and back out again, so we already know he fits. So we you'd hear him click when he went in, click, went in, there he is, done.
And then you might have to pull from that end.
So we've just noticed that there's a thin white line here where it hasn't quite pulled in. So we take our hammer and our tool that comes against the wall, we lock it in behind it. Now this is the same line that goes through to the door. Now we give him a hit. And it's pulled in up the other end. So all your joints are tight, it's done. So this is our edge that's going to go up against the wall. This is our piece that's going to go around a door frame. So we're just going to cut that bit out. That piece will just fall out. Just clean your corner up with your Stanley knife. So this is our 2 straight edges. We've jogged our piece out of the corner here to go underneath up against the wall. We've found and what have you that on this corner, because they're two cut edges, we just put a bit of sticker on there. Not a great deal, just to hold that corner down, because there's no lock on that corner. The idea is to stay off your wall frame there a bit, just to give yourself a bit of room. It'll lock in there reasonably easy. Once you've got it in there, just put your block up against the end and just gently tap it until these two cut edges join up. And they should join up nice and neat. Okay, now we're going to do our edge. So our edge is less than a board wide. So we put our edge where it needs to be here. It's slightly wider on this end than it is on that end by a couple of mil. So we've just marked it here on our timber edge and our timber edge here. So now we're just going to scribe it and break it. And we just lay it down on the floor or a makeshift bench. We're just using a piece of thin angle iron as a straight edge. Just marking it with our Stanley knife. Just go over it a couple of times. Oops. Just go over it a couple of times like that. And now what we're doing is we just lay our angle iron edge up, put our board marks on it so that it's off centre. And basically just lean on it and snap it. Just work your way along the board, off centre, and break it. Discard that piece. That's your edge. Now basically fit it in where it needs to go, like such. Slide it back to your wall edge, drop it down. Take your tool and your hammer and just hook it in on your edge there. Give it a tap in 3 or 4 phases along your edge to pull it in on that line, and there it is, ready to go.